Hello, my name is Liza, or Caffeine and Misery, and today I'm going to be talking about with DZ-BT-07, the brand new set, the updates to Destined King of Infinity, Levidras Empireo. So Levidras, excuse me. So Levidras mainly got one brand new card, but I'm going to be going full in-depth into my current list still. That way people who are just picking up the game will have a full breakdown on the deck. They won't have to backtrack for my deck, for my philosophy on why I designed it this way. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm on the intended ride line, the Stagnipper Dragon, the Scorepiercer Dragon, which as long as the soul has Stagnipper, when you ride into Mantis-Scythe, the grade 2, you can do it for free. And then Mantis-Scythe Dragon, who, when it is ridden over by a Levidras, for 3 energy, you can check the top 5 and add a grade 3 or lower card to hand. Grade 3 or lower card, so it can be in order. There's no restriction on Regardless piece. It's very versatile searching. And then, of course, I have the Destined King of Infinity, Levidras Empireo. He's got a number of effects. First, as a continuous effect on Vanguard Circle, he's always treated as Destined 1 of Infinity, Levidras. And he gets 5k for every single original Levidras in Soul, and he gets all of their divine skills. This is very important because he does not have his own divine skill. Along with that, once per turn as an act for a counterblast or putting a card from hand into Soul, you can choose two Rearguard circles, either players, and put an infinitized marker on them. And if you put a grade 3 or greater Levidras into Soul, you gotta put 3 instead of 2. So you can put 2 on your opponent's board, 1 on yours, 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, any way you want to divide it. And then lastly, he has the same auto ability as the original Levidras, where when a unit's rearguard on a circle with an infinitized marker's attacks, you can either increase or decrease its power by 10k until the end of the battle. And if the opponent's unit got decreased by 10k, you remove an infinitized marker and you draw a card. So the deck, very defensive, very nice, very aggressive early on too, because you can put a bunch of infinitized markers. For the main deck grade 3s, I'm on 3 more copies of Empireo just for the Persona ride. I'm also maxing out on copies of the original Levidras. The reason I'm maxing out is because you do need to be seeing it to get the most out of Empireo's skill. And I'll go over the effects, but you should never be on the Vanguard. The divine skill that Empireo will be inheriting, though, is that as long as the opponent's Vanguard is on grade 3 or greater, you can Soul Blast 1. You get to put another marker on your side and your opponent's side's Rearguard circles. And the Vanguard gets 10k and a critical till end of turn. Very simple, very powerful, very aggressive skill. And then it has the same increase, decrease, draw a card skill as an auto ability, and it once per turn to counterblast 1 and put a marker on your side and your opponent's side. That last effect, the one to counterblast 1, should never come up because you're never going to be on you should never have to be on original Levidras. I'm on 3 copies of Knight of Fermosity Charmnet, who has an act skill and drop that as long as you have 3 or more infinitized markers, and you don't already have a Knight of Ferocity Charmnet, you can Soul Blast 1 and call her, and when she attacks, if there's an infinitized marker in the same column, she can retire another rearguard to gain 10, and then at the end of the battle you can retire her to draw a card. Those are 2 separate costs. It's the same skill, so you have to do A to do B, but you don't have to do B. You don't have to retire her to draw the card if you don't want to. The reason that I'm on 3 is because the deck has a lot of guard, potential from the 10k reduction, but it really does have an issue with how many grade 3s it has. So I went ahead, I dropped her down 1 to 3, because 3 you should still be seeing her, especially with how much you're already drawing. And then lastly, for grade 3s, I'm on 2 copies of Searching for Infinity Knowledge, which for 2 energy and having a Levidras Vanguard, you can call a rearguard with grade less than or equal for your Vanguard from your drop, and it gets 5k for every single infinitized marker that is yours, every single infinitized marker you placed that's in the same column. The reason the Yor is important is for the mirror, but it's a max of a 20k boost on top of anything else. For grade 2s, I'm on 4 copies of On-Fall Anadagaster, who on place, as long as there's Infinity Eyes in the same column, you can Energy Blast 3, check the top 2. One goes to hand, the other one goes to top or bottom, and it gets 5k for the turn. And then he has a second skill where during your turn, as long as you have a grade 3 or greater Levidras, and there's 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers, he gets 5k, and as long as there's not another On-Fall Anadagaster in the back row, he can attack from the back row. So Anadagaster is your main way to, one of your 2 ways to get extra attacks. The deck caps at 5 if you weren't aware. And then I'm on 2 copies of Skulk-Class Huntsman Hooli, who on place, as long as there's Infinity Eyes marker in the same column, for a single counterblast, you get to call a unit from drop. And if you have 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers total, she gets 10k. The reason she's on 2 is because you have multiple ways to survive. You have Charm that brings herself back. You have Searching for Infinity Knowledge. There we go. So you don't really need that many to get it done. And then for the brand new cards, I'm currently on 3 copies of Acquired Pantherod, who, when he's placed on a rearguard circle with Infinity Eyes marker, he gets 5k until end of turn. And if your Infinity Eyes marker is on your other rearguard circle in the same column, you can choose another rearguard and give it 5k. So on place, if he has one, he gets 5, and then if there's one behind him or in front of him, if you put him in the back row, on the other circle, something else gets 5. And a second skill is that at the end of the battle attacked, you can retire to check the top 7 for a grade 3 or greater Levidras to add to hand. This is going to be one of your key cards going forward, in my opinion, because it gives you a turn 2. One of the things Levidras really lacked, in my opinion, was a really powerful turn 2. It doesn't do a lot until grade 3. This gives you something you can just throw down, start swinging with, and retire to be searching out your Levidrases so you can be seeing them. And because of cards like Hooli and Searching for Infinity Knowledge, he's revivable. And lastly, my Regalis piece is Protection Twincast, which is a blitz order that for free, when your unit is attacked, you can give it 10k until end of battle. And as a drop ability, a skill that can be used even if you've used a Regalis piece skill this way. So if you've already used its 10k, its regular use, you can remove it from drop to choose the unit being attacked, and it gets 5k for times its grade. So use on your Levidras turn, you remove it, it gets 15k. Just a nice defensive piece. I like having as much defense as possible, because you're going into your grade 3 turn. You don't actually do a lot, you're not doing a lot of pressure, and you're very combo oriented in Levidras, so you really do need to be saving as many of your pieces as you can. For my grade 1 cards, I'm on 3 copies of Full Knowledge Foxhole, who, when it boosts a Levidras, it gains 5k, or when it boosts, if you have a Levidras Vanguard, it gains 5k, and when it specifically boosts a Levidras, as long as the opponent has an Infinity Eye marker, it gets 2k until end of battle. And for a counterblast, you can choose a back row rear guard, give it 10k, and the ability to attack from the back row. So this is your other way to get a back row attacker. You choose 1 rear guard, it gets to attack, and then Anadagaster, if you have 3 markers, swings 2, so that's how you get your 5 attacks. And arguably the best target for Foxhole right now is Inquisitive Squirrel. And look at this cute little menace. He has a very simple ability that at the end of the battle, it boosted for a Soul Blast. You can move it over to an open rearguard circle. If you moved it to an open circle with an Infinity Eyes marker, you stand it and give it 5. It does have to be an open back row circle. So the way you route it is you swing your Levy first, then you swing Anadagaster, you swing the Charm Net boosted by the squirrel selected by Foxhole, because that is going to hit a huge column, and then you're going to move Squirrel over, get another attack. 2 attacks. I'm on just 4 regular perfect guards. The reason I'm not on Sanctitude is, honestly, it's just that I have the Twin Cast, and there's so much other guard in the deck, like with the way I have it built currently, that having the regular perfect guards is perfectly fine to me. And every once in a while you will hit those turns where you only have the one card. I'd rather be able to hold on to that card still most of the time, because it's always going to be a combo piece. If it's Searching for Fading Knowledge or Huli, that's a way back into the game. And the last grade one I'm on is Mythiarch Habitat, who, when played, you check the top 7 for a unit with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard and call it. And then, if it would be selected for a Mythiarch skill, or when you would choose a unit from deck, you can choose it, and when it would be called from deck to Rearguard Circle, well, it goes to hand instead of drop. It's just another way to try and see your combo pieces. Very nice, very effective, very direct. And then lastly, for my trigger lineup, I'm on 8 criticals. I'm on kind of a mismatch just because I don't have all the crits I need. You could run the soul crits, but they're not necessary. Your back row is really important for your unit, for your other attackers, like your Squirrel, Pantherite if you choose him as an attacker, a Notagaster. So there's already a lot of stuff taking up your back row, so you're not really going to be able to boost a lot in the later game. I'm also on the 20k guard fronts. The reason I'm on, if it would focus, give me a second. There we go. The reason I'm on these is, again, you're a very combo heavy deck, and aside from Pantherite, you don't really have a turn 2 play, so you need as much guard as you can, especially going second. I'm on 4 regular heals. I don't like the effect heals in the current format, honestly. They sometimes come up, but I don't think they're going to come up for this deck. I don't think they're going to come back up anytime soon. And then lastly, I am on Blessed Favor, the Stoicheia Overtrigger, as my overtrigger of choice for Levidras, which has the additional effect that when it's checked, it does all the triggers. It draws you another card, it gives a critical, front row gains 10, and if you're able to heal, you heal 1. But this is my current Levidras list going into the set 7 format. If you liked the video, do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, and I will see y'all next time. Ciao.